Welcome back to your Mortgage Pal channel, where we make the home buying journey a breeze. I'm your host, Sal Chubankan, the one and only mortgage pal you'll ever need. For today, I created a short video about buying versus renting in 2023. If you're considering buying a home, you might be wondering if 2023 is the right time to make your move. In this video, we'll break down the factors to consider, such as current market situation, interest rate, and your personal financial situation. Let's dive in.
Should you buy a house in 2023? A comprehensive guide to making the right decision. Are you considering buying a house in 2023? This video will explore the factors you must consider before deciding. We'll look at the current housing market, interest rates, and more to help you determine the right time to buy or wait. Don't miss this essential guide for home buyers. Current housing market. First, let's take a look at the current housing market. In 2023, we're seeing a mix of rising prices, limited inventory, and increasing demand. Considering these factors and how they may affect your decision to buy a home is essential. Remember that local markets can vary, so research your specific area. Interest rates. Next, let's discuss interest rates. Low interest rates can make buying a home more affordable, while high interest rates can make it more challenging. Interest rates are on the rise but still relatively low compared to historical standards. Keep an eye on interest rate trends and consider locking in a rate if you decide to buy. Your financial situation. Your financial situation is crucial when deciding whether to buy a home. Consider your job stability, savings, and credit score before deciding. In addition, you'll want a healthy down payment, an emergency fund, and a secure income to cover your mortgage payments and unexpected expenses. The pros and cons of renting versus buying. The decision to rent or buy a home often comes from personal circumstances, financial goals, and lifestyle preferences. Let's explore the pros and cons of both options to help you make an informed decision. Let's start with renting. Here are the pros. Flexibility. Renting allows you to move more quickly, making it an attractive option if you value flexibility or anticipate job or life changes. Low upfront costs. Renting typically requires less money than buying a home, as you only need to cover a security deposit and the first month's rent. No maintenance responsibilities. As a renter, you generally won't need to worry about property maintenance or repairs, as your landlord is responsible for these tasks. No exposure to market fluctuations. Renters are unaffected by changes in the housing market, so there is no chance of losing property value. Here are the cons. No equity. When you rent, you don't build equity in a property, so you're not investing in a long-term asset. Limited control. Renters have less control over their living space, as they're subject to the rules and restrictions set by landlords. Potential rent increases. Rent prices can increase over time, making it more challenging to budget for housing costs in the long term. If you are considering buying, here are the pros. Equity building. Owning a home allows you to build equity as you pay your mortgage, contributing to long-term wealth. Potential for appreciation. Real estate typically appreciates over time, which means your home could increase in value, offering a potential return on investment. Tax benefits. Homeowners may benefit from tax deductions on mortgage interest and property taxes, which can provide financial advantages. Stability and control. As a homeowner, you have more control over your living space, with the freedom to make renovations and improvements as you see fit. Here are the cons. High upfront costs. Buying a home requires a substantial down payment, closing costs, and other fees, which can be a financial barrier for some. Maintenance responsibilities. Homeowners are responsible for maintaining their property, which can be time-consuming and costly. Market risk. Home values can fluctuate, and there's a risk that your property's value could decrease over time, potentially leading to financial loss. Less flexibility. Owning a home ties you to a specific location, making it more challenging to relocate if your job or personal circumstances change. When to wait. If you're not sure whether to buy a house in 2023 or wait, consider the following signs that it might be better to wait. First, you're not financially prepared. Second, you're unsure about your job stability or plans. Third, you're not ready to commit to a specific location. Finally, the local housing market is unfavorable for buyers. Remember, it's better to wait and be prepared than to rush into a decision you might regret later. Preparing to buy. If you've decided that buying a home in 2023 is the right move for you, here are some steps to help you prepare. Establish a budget. Determine how much house you can afford based on your income, expenses, and down payment. Improve your credit score. Pay off any outstanding debts and ensure timely payments to boost your credit score. Save for a down payment and closing costs. Aim to save at least 10% for a down payment and additional funds for closing costs. Get pre-approved for a mortgage. Obtain a pre-approval to show sellers you're serious and financially prepared. Work with a real estate agent. Find an experienced local agent to help guide you through the home buying process. In conclusion, deciding whether to buy a house in 2023 requires careful consideration of various factors, including the current housing market, interest rates, and financial situation. By evaluating these aspects and thoughtfully weighing your options, you can make the best decision for your future. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more real estate and financial advice. Thanks for watching, and best of luck on your home buying journey.
And that's a wrap, home-loving friends. Thank you for joining me on this real estate adventure. Remember, I'm Sal Chubankan, your mortgage pal, always here to help you navigate the mortgage maze. If you enjoy your time together, give that little button a tap and subscribe for more home-savvy wisdom. Don't forget to share the love with your family and friends. Until next time, stay curious and happy house hunting.